I don't want you to make this mistake. And as a seller, you definitely don't want to make this mistake. So I'm working with buyers, and we are currently in a market where it is a buyer's market. And sellers are super stressed out. They are having a difficult time because they're wondering, where are all the buyers? Why don't they want to come see my house? So when you actually do get an offer, it is always in your best interest to negotiate and engage in that offer. In our current situation, we are making an offer on a property, and it is priced $115,000 more than the last unit that sold in the complex. So it is literally the same floor plan, same view, both are inside units, so same square footage, same finishing, same everything. The only difference is that this property that is for sale that my clients want to offer on has hardwood flooring upstairs. The other one has carpet upstairs. However, I don't think that 800 square feet of hardwood flooring is going to cost $115,000. The biggest problem with this negotiation is going to be the sellers, because clearly the sellers feel and believe that their property is worth so much more than one that just sold 2 months ago for $850,000, and they are listed at $965,000. But there's nothing to justify that price increase. They're the same unit, same view, same floor plan, same square footage, same finishings, everything. So how do you justify that kind of price increase in a buyer's market and even a slightly decreasing market? And buyers are smart. Buyers agents are smart. We look at all the past data. We know what the prices are in an area. And I can definitely say I do not want my clients paying that much extra for a property. Sometimes if you're paying a few $1,000s, okay, that's okay. You can understand that. You can get on board with it. But a 6-figure price difference, even a 10, 20, 30 price difference, not gonna happen. So we are going to offer anyway. Actually, we did offer on the property anyway, but the biggest stumbling block here is actually going to be the sellers, because if they're priced so far up here and the prices are down here, they're not going to want to engage. The only thing we can do is put forward an offer and see if we can actually get somewhere with the sellers. Maybe they're thinking, let's take a shot at it. Maybe somebody will pay us our price. Even when talking to the other agent, there was nothing in the conversation that they could justify saying where the price was, where it is, except for another complex which sells for higher because it is nicer and it's bigger square footage. So you can't compare those two. And especially if you have a condo building or a townhouse complex, those sales and those comparable sales are always going to be within that specific complex or building. It's just how it is. So, and it also, not only it is how it is, but it totally makes sense, because it's the same as saying, I have one black sweater and another black sweater, and they're the same quality, same fabric, they should be around the same price. One shouldn't be $200 and the other one be $25. It just doesn't make sense, and it's not justified. So we sent in an offer, wanted to see where the buyers were going to be at. Of course, we had our case and our justification for the price. Now, as a seller, this is the biggest mistake I think you can make, is they didn't even enter into a negotiation. They did not want to counter. They did not want to discuss it. And so they've just let this offer go. Now, in a market such that we're in right now, a buyer's market, if you're getting a buyer, you definitely want to engage and you want to work with them, because the buyers set the tone of the market. And that doesn't matter if it's a really great, robust, things are selling in 2 days market, or if it's taking 3 to 4 months to sell your property. The buyers are always going to set the tone. So the other problem with this is that because they don't want to engage, the buyer, my clients, they don't want to come back and say, okay, we'll pay you your price. And the reason for that is because, as we know, buyer's market, more choices. My clients have lots of choices, and they narrowed it down to 3 different homes. And so what are we gonna do? You guessed it, we are gonna go to the next one and we're gonna offer on that property. Now, what I always say to my sellers is engage, counter, let's try and get a deal together. Also too, sellers always end up feeling like they've sold for too less, and buyers end up feeling like they paid too high. But you want to feel that, you know what, that was reasonable, that was a reasonable price and I love the home and I'm going to enjoy living there. So what's the moral of this one? Don't price your property so incredibly high that the majority of people aren't going to want to even take a look at it. Now, in my opinion, as an agent and knowing where the market is and being in the market every day, if I see a property like this that is priced too high, I still think it's worth it to go have a look at it, because I know there are many, many sellers who are aiming for a super high price to see if maybe somebody will pay it. And then once they actually get an offer, reality kind of sits in and they are, okay, I guess this is where we're gonna be for pricing. So you also definitely want to look at where things are selling, because that's gonna tell you where the buyer's mindset is at, and then you can adjust plus or minus if you have updates or not. But always, as a seller, entertain all those offers, look at the raw data, and if you're in a slow market, engage with the buyer.